Hi, and welcome to SBR Sports Picks. Today is Wednesday, December 26th, and this is the Loshak in the Bag show. My name is Peter Loshak. Jimmy the Bag, of course, has been traveling all over Canada. Wherever he's been in Canada, he went to a place where he didn't have power for a few days. Jimmy the Bag is reported to be expected back tomorrow for the Loshak in the Bag show. But for today, Wednesday, December 25th, one more time, I am going to be flying solo here. And of course, the issue with that is just that it's, historically I've been much better at NHL than NBA. And today, of course, it's all NBA and 3 bowl games, and that's it. But, last time I was doing this solo, without the help of Jimmy the Bag, with the help of the Loshak in the Bag show comment section, was December 21st. And on that day in the NBA, I had 2 losses and 5 wins. 5-2 ATS on December 21st in the Loshak in the Bag show that I was hosting myself. And I'm seeing some things that I might be liking in today's card. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm certainly going to discuss my reasoning, and give them out as official plays. As always is the case with a solo show, there might be some downtime. There might be some little breaks where you're not seeing or hearing anything. It's just me looking at, searching for odds, searching for comments. But we will try to keep as brisk pace as possible and keep this show entertaining. And, it's a crazy time of year, right? Crazy time of year. My name is Peter Loshak. SBR Videos, Loshak in the Bag show. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here in the comments section, and then we will jump right in and start, I guess, with a huge NBA card. Of course, the only other thing we have on the docket today is, there's soccer, but there's 3 bowl games. I did wind up talking earlier in Loshak in the Bag shows about how I like BC, Boston College. Might have been a mistake, but I did give that one as an official play at 2.5, and I believe that the line has moved in my favor just a little bit since. Yeah, now it's down to a 1.5 or 1 or 2. It's an interesting couple of games here. TCU against California is interesting. You're usually not supposed to tease college football, but we have 2 games with relatively low totals. I'm kind of liking the dog in both cases. Might be a spot. You're not. I know anyone who has a clue is going to say, Loshak, that's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard, the squarest thing I've ever heard. You're not supposed to tease college football games. I know. I'm not saying you should do a teaser here. I'm saying that if you were going to do a teaser in college football, this might be one of the best situations that you can find. Teasing Boston College up to about 7.5 or 8, TCU up to 7.5 or 8, something like that. Might be worth a shot. Just some things I'm thinking about. Let's look at some comments, and then we'll jump into NBA. Let's see what we got here. Let me see what's going on. It is a vacation. Let me see how many people are watching now. Not that many people watching. All right, so everyone's on vacation. That's okay. We'll have a nice little show with whoever is here, with myself and all of you. Mr. Gokster, of course, is here. Matt Randall, shout out to you, Matt Randall, guy who's got a great read on college basketball. Great to see you in the comment section here, Matt Randall. Unfortunately, we don't have any college basketball today to go over, but great to see you in here. King Rail, shout out to King Rails on Boise State first half. Paco Healy says, Pete, Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas to you, Paco Healy. Noli Knows likes the BC Boise State under. Glad to see Boise State here. Yaya says, Loshak, I don't have a clue, but don't do college teasers. Yes. I'm not suggesting you should go and do a teaser here with these 2 teams. What I'm suggesting is that as college teasers go, this might be one of the least stupid ones you could possibly make. That's all I'm saying here. Twate Latte says you can clearly tease a college football game provided it's correlated and the spread and total are low. Yes. There's a lot of debate there. Based on your own personal handicapping, you could make a case for doing teasers in college football. There are people who say that it's absolutely, utterly a no-brainer. But yeah, it's all dependent on the total. And of course, the total in the TCU game, Cal game, is all the way down to 38, which would be low even for an NFL game. So certainly based on the total there, you could make a case for teasing a TCU there. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Going here, a comment section here. Ryan Campbell, SR says, Pete, you're the man. Thank you so much, Ryan Campbell. I love you, Ryan Campbell. Other comments here coming in, and then we'll get into an NBA. Fred Gialli says, Pete, I told you Bucks will win in Boston and Lakers will go under Friday. That's right, you did. Fred Gialli, I do remember that. Shout out. Jake Bell took Boston College at +3 and took the money line at the same point. Very nice. You beat the line move, Jake Bell. I think I got 2.5. And yeah, very nice to get 3. Mr. Gokster says, World Juniors, Pete, going on. Jim Rome's a douche says we have junior hockey. That's great. I'm not covering it. You want to come to my office and talk to me about, if SBR wants to work something out where I'm covering World Juniors hockey, we can do that. As of right now, I ain't covering it. I'm covering the 3 college bowl games, and I'm covering NBA. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. Odar Lira says, hey, brothers, good afternoon. Happy holidays to all. Jimmy Pete, I missed this show. Amazing that it's back. Let's roll today. Shout out to you, Odar Lira. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Sean Robertson, who has given some great plays over the course of the last few. Oh, but Flipper13 says, Pete, I've missed this show. Thank you very much. I miss you too. Bleds W says, hey Pete, what's good today? Hope your Christmas was well. Thank you very much, Bleds W. BitXN says Pete, it's my birthday Monday. Happy birthday to you, BitXN. BitXN, you're one of those people I'm always makes me more nervous than most when you are on the opposite side of a play that I'm on. If I like something and you disagree with it, that makes me extremely nervous. When we go over NBA today, please let me know if anything I say, either officially or as far as the lean is concerned, is opposite of what you're liking. Shout out to you, Bleds W. All right, let's see. Giovanni Beestorf, thanks, Pete, for an amazing year capping games with us. Shout out to you, Gianni Beestorf. Yes, it is the end of the handicapping season right now, the end of the year, so we can spend just a teeny bit of time, a few minutes, telling each other we love each other, saying thank you for the shows, saying thank you for watching the shows, me saying thank you to you, you saying thank you to me. We can spend a few minutes doing that, especially since we have a relatively small card today. Let's see. John Roberts says, missed my daily fix of low bag. Hell yeah. Jim Rome-Zadouche says, I'm smashing World Juniors. I hope you cash. Jim Rome-Zadouche, I love you, and I sincerely hope that you cash today with your plays on World Junior hockey. All right, let's see. What else do we have? All right. I guess that's about it. Comments coming in. All right. That was the easy part of today's show. Telling each other Merry Christmas, telling each other we love each other. And I might, if this handicapping the NBA gets too difficult, I might go back and just have the show be that. No capping, just sitting around wishing each other Merry Christmas, telling each other when our birthdays are, and telling each other we love each other and happy holidays and all that stuff. But we are going to have to get into NBA handicapping right now. Let's jump right in. How about that? Once again, I'm doing okay in NBA recently. My leans have been pretty good. On December 19th, I went 3-2. On December 21st, I went 5-2 in NBA. And after doing the Audible, actually, this past weekend with Donnie Rightside, I had a winning day in NFL. And once again, my leans, people know by now that my leans in general are much stronger than my official plays. Let's just talk about NFL and think about what we should have caught last week. First of all, I don't know why. There were so many plays that I was leaning towards that I guess I was planning on tweeting out, but just didn't. Oakland at home was the clear play against Denver. Their last game at home, likely. Denver was a dumpster fire as well. I don't even remember why I didn't give Oakland as an official play, but I know on my record I didn't give it as an official play. Also, the Chicago Bears team total under. I don't know if you guys remember that from the Audible, but I said that was a play that I was liking. It was 23.5 at the time. I said I was going to wait to find 24. And if I could find that, I would tweet it out. And if I couldn't find it, I would tweet it out at 23.5. Of course, I just took the weekend off. And I don't know whether it went to 24 or 23.5, but I didn't tweet out either of them. And so officially, because I'm honest, to my detriment, a lot of people, wonder, like, Peter, why are you so fucking honest? Like, why? It just hurts you. I know. It's just the kind of person I want to be in life. It's just a decision that I made. I know it hurts me. I know I'm the only one who gets hurt by my honesty. But, so even though I talked nonstop in the Audible about the Chicago Bears team total under 23.5 or 24, and they scored 14, I don't get to add that as an official play because I put it in my tweet that I was going to do that, but I didn't tweet out the official line. If you don't tweet out the official line, it's like a bet you didn't officially make. So that was a play that I definitely liked, but don't get credit for. And if you remember in the Audible, I was talking about how good was my call on Jacksonville. In the Audible, I did see Jimmy the Bag took Miami, which is understandable, but you see this a lot in sports betting. Think about it. You see this a lot in sports betting. A team like Jacksonville, I talked about it in the Audible with Donnie Rightside. A team like Jacksonville, a team that's just a terrible bet, 7.5-point favorites. And they lose outright week in and week out. Just a terrible bet week in and week out, losing outright as big favorites, this and that. You see this all the time. The Bears with Jay Cutler, the Cowboys with Tony Romo. And I said that the Jacksonville Jaguars with Blake Bortles was that kind of a team. Last week, it was just it looked like a terrible spot for them. They were just quitting on the year, getting small points at Miami. And in the Audible, I said, this is the kind of spot where you take a team like Jacksonville. When they're 7.5-point home favorites in a game that matters, that's where you fade them and maybe think about betting on them losing outright. after they're coming off of a disastrous spot where they're going on the road, a game that doesn't mean anything to them, and they're getting small points. That's the kind of spot where you take Jacksonville. And I talked about that on a team like Jacksonville, not just Jacksonville, because you do see this in all kinds of sports. And I was, so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. These kind of quote unquote bad character teams that lose outright as 7.5 point favorites when they really need to win. Then, when they're in a spot that doesn't matter, catching small points on the road, that's when you bet them. The Houston-Philly game, I had the Houston team total over, which was a winner. Shout out to Donnie Rightside for having the full game over. That was another lean that I liked. I just didn't have the balls to give it. I was also leaning Baltimore Chargers over, and that one was a loser. And again, another one, Buffalo plus the points. I was talking about that all show long, that I was leading Buffalo plus the points. It was close, but just too many points, and that was another lean that I should have... That I was liking and didn't give. And of course I had Detroit, which was a loser. All right, so that's it for NFL. Let's see. What else is coming in here? Comments coming in here. Jake Bell says, "We love you for your honesty, Pete." Yes, I know. I'm just saying it fucks up my life. And I put myself in behind the 8 ball in life. But I hear you. I hear you, Jake Bell. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in, and then we will get into a NBA. I thought that those 3 minutes reviewing the NFL card was valuable, and now let's move into it, because these are points that you want to think about for future NFL seasons, and even in other sports, those kinds of factors and situations pop up. All right, so let's get into NBA. Now we can get into NBA. All right, what do we got here? Let me think about what I'm thinking about here. Let me think about what I'm thinking about here in NBA. I guess let's start off with Washington, Detroit. Hold on. First, let me copy and paste something here. Okay. Copying and pasting. Okay. Oh, hold on one second. Bam. Bam. Sorry. Copying and pasting. Bam. Copying and pasting. Hold on one second. Please forgive me. Okay. First game, Washington, Detroit. An interesting situation here, right? Of course, both these teams are well rested. Washington was coming off that triple overtime game, then came back. They were completely tired. Of course, they were a big underdog, but still lost ATS and was very low scoring. Well rested off a bad spot, and Detroit is well rested here as well. Detroit is also off a spot where Dwayne Casey called the team out and said that they weren't playing as intensely as they should have been playing in that game at Charlotte on Friday. And so both teams come out here. Now, I'm thinking that this might be a good spot for an under, and I'm thinking it might be a good spot for a first half under. We know what Detroit does when they're playing their best, right? They clamp down on defense. Washington well rested off a bad spot, but they also, had a game where they got blown out. They're going to come in here, and I think they're going to be clamping down a little bit as well. So I was leaning under and full game under as well at 221.5. Let me see, under and full game under at 221.5, Washington and Detroit. I have some reason, though, to believe that that might be a crappy play, and maybe the second half under is the way to go. But I was definitely leaning under here. Let's see where the market has moved. Check where the market has moved. Yeah, well, all right, 221.5. Now it's down to 221.5 is still available. I was leaning under. Reason to believe that the under is not a good bet, but I'm thinking about it. All right, what else do we have here? Let's see. Ski Prophet says Pistons -4.5, Nets -2. Yes, we'll talk about that in a second. I was leaning Nets as well. Mavs money line. It's an interesting situation for the Mavs. They have not been doing well. Now they're back home, and should be a good spot for them as well. Zion McCoy says Boise or BC. Some people were saying they like Boise. I think King Rail said he likes Boise first half. I took BC at 2.5. Jake Bell took BC at 3. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Conrado Mendoza, I think Boise is a play. This is obviously going to be a game that most people are, that there's going to be a lot of people on both sides here. Zion McCoy says, game in an hour, and he's still on NBA. I need help now. Yes, we can quickly talk about this one. Zion McCoy. BC, of course, is a revelation earlier in the year. They were a great bet, and there were some astute commenters in the Loshak and the Bag Show comment section who were saying that BC was going to be a good bet early on in the season, and they were for the first 2/3 of the season or 3/4. Then, of course, they est the bed and lost straight up in ATS their last 3 games. But I think that the Brave will let them get healthier, right? That running back Dillon was having some injury issues in the middle of the season that I think affected him later on, and he presumably the rest will help him. He is expected to play in this game, and Boise State. Great team, right? A little bit of a tough team to get a read on. I did fade them. I took Fresno State, if you recall, in their last game of the season. That was a little bit of a different situation because it was a revenge game for Fresno State the second time they had met. But Boise State is just a tough team, a good team that I want to that I don't want to bet against. And listen, the more I talk about it, I kind of like BC here, and I don't know if they're going to get blown out. I could see Boise State winning and covering, but I don't know if this is a blowout. I'm telling you, I'm thinking that BC teased with TCU. I know you're not supposed to tease college football games, but I'm thinking that BC teased with TCU might be a decent play here. I'm on BC here. You know, is it a lock? No. In my personal, professional opinion, it might be a 53% play. At +3, it's probably a 56% play based on the current lines. I could be totally wrong, though. Jake Bell likes BC. And other people, including Conrado Mendoza and others, liking, let's see. Joe Licari says bad weather in that game. Under. Right, and I think that benefits BC. Paco Healy says under. Let's see. Yeah, Ganja Gamer says taking BC money line, boys. Not applicable says reading dictionary. See meaning of S the bed. LOL. You do that. Not applicable. You do that. Conrado Mendoza says if BC can run, they can win, but BC is bad at pass defense. Yes, I think the under is probably a good play as well, which is also why I would be leaning towards a teaser, because even though the total is relatively high right now at 50 or 49.5, I would put it lower than that. So now you got two very low totals for college football that you can tease, TCU and BC. I might do this. Denny's Selick likes BC +2.5. Red Girl likes the under. All right. Yes. Let's see. I'm just, MLB says Boston College, Dylan is going to roll. Flipper 13 likes the Detroit first half under 113. Okay, 112.5. Scanning. Gerald Martinez can't trust this Wizards team on the road with chemistry issues. Yeah, I agree. And presumably Detroit's going to play clampdown defense. Conrado Mendoza. All right, so there's your answer, Zion McCoy. I'm leaning BC. You can make a strong case for Boise. Obviously, that Boise State quarterback is the real deal, and that is a vulnerability of BC defensively. But I think they're strong in the trenches. They should have a good running game with Dylan, and I would be leaning BC. Might be a much safer play to just use them in a teaser. Of course, when you're talking about a teaser, you have to have the second team to tease them with. Oftentimes, that doesn't happen, on a college football slate. But I'm seeing TCU as maybe a prime perfect candidate. So there's your answer, Zion McCoy. There's your answer. All right. So what else do we have? Other comments coming in. Let me see. Zion McCoy says too many on BC and under. That would be too easy. Yeah. Sure. Sometimes when everyone's on something, especially an underdog, they're right. I don't know if I don't know what the money is. I know that the line is moving in BC's favor, but maybe the majority of the Loshak and the Bag Show commenters are on BC. That does not mean that the majority of the whole world is on BC, and those are two different groups of people. A higher caliber of commenter in the Loshak and the Bag Show than in the world at large. At least I think so. That's what I think. All right. Ben Sportsbook says the world is on Boise, takes BC. All right. So Zion McCoy says too many people are on BC. Ben Sportspicks 24/7 says the world is on Boise. So I guess what Zion McCoy is saying is that not many people are on BC, but that's still too many people. Zion McCoy would expect no one to be on ZZ. I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to check some of the sites that we trust for this to find out who's on what. But with the line movement favoring BC, that tells me that there is at least some sharp action on BC at the previous line of 2.5, which is nice to see. So MLB says everyone's on Boise. Public's on Boise. All right. Okay. BitXN says Cal's defense is going to be too much for TCU. Noli knows 20-mile-an-hour winds make it a running game for both teams. All right. So that's it for yes. We will go back to the game, but just because we like to try to please everyone here, and Zion McCoy specifically asked about the BC game, so we covered it, even though we were starting in on NBA. All right, so here we go. NBA. Yeah, I was leaning under. In this in the Phoenix and Orlando game. Washington Detroit. It's dropped to 220.5 at Pinnacle. This, we don't have afternoon shows here, so this is a classic game where I would be waiting to find more opinions later on in the day. But I'm leaning under here at 221.5. Although some people I respect are leaning over, and especially first half over. So I'll just think about that for right now. Let me see what else I was thinking about. Yeah, the under. Washington's well rested. I was thinking about maybe the Detroit team total under. Washington's been awful ATS recently. All right, and let me just pull up the Pinnacle team total sheet so the page so that I can quote NBA team totals if I want to. There you go, team total. Yeah, Detroit 112.5, Washington 108. I would be thinking about under both team total unders. Maybe the Washington team total under actually. Yeah, Washington is not good on the road. They're vulnerable. It's just after that loss, I'm not sure I want to be fading Washington right here. All right, let's move on. Next game on the docket, Phoenix and Orlando. Phoenix, of course, rolling ATS. Not a huge surprise to me, right? With Ayton in there, he was going to, come into his own at a certain point, and presumably Phoenix was going to start to be significantly undervalued when he did, because when Ayton was expected to, whenever it happened that Ayton came into his own, Phoenix would also have presumably been on an extended streak of futility, getting nice lack of respect from the market. And just as they turn a corner, the market is behind the curve on that one. So Phoenix has been rolling ATS, Orlando slumping badly. I was definitely thinking about Phoenix here, plus the points, but maybe taking it safe and taking some team totals, either the Phoenix team total over or the Orlando team total under. That's what I was thinking about. Definitely liking Phoenix here, though. No question about that. Definitely liking Phoenix here. Phoenix Suns, thinking about the Phoenix team total over. Let me just see what that would be right now. Phoenix would be, 102 at 102 at Pinnacle. Not a very high total. Or the Orlando team total under at 107.5, or both. Let's see what comments are coming in here. King Rail likes Phoenix in the points. Yes. Gerald Martinez, I like Phoenix. Magic have been bad offensively. Yes. Ron Lofton says Suns and lean over. Yes. I was thinking about, taking both the Phoenix team total under and the Phoenix team total over and the Orlando team total under. There you go. Denise Selleck, Orlando team total under. Yellow Jesus with some props. Booker points over, not applicable, says Orlando sucks. Yes, they do. Certainly ATS-wise recently. Clipper 13, first half under is good in the Pistons game. Angel Romero says, Merry Christmas, Loshak. Shout out to you. Right back at you, Angel Romero. D. Bankroll says, TCU and Georgia Tech covers. We'll talk that in a second. We'll talk about that game in the college football section. Okay. Matt Randall says, those kids play hard for Justin Wilcox of Cal. I'd fade this game or take Cal. Thank you very much. Justin Wilcox, I'm copying and pasting. Matt Randall, I'm copying and pasting that comment. Okay. Yellow Jesus predicts his final score of 113-98 Suns, which would mean that Phoenix is a good bet on the money line, and also that Phoenix is a good bet on their team total over, Orlando a good bet on the team total under. And you know what? I'll take both of those. What the hell? I will take both of those. I'll take the Phoenix team total under 102 minus 116. I'll make that one an official pick. Sorry, over. Phoenix team total over 102 minus 116. And I'm going to take the Orlando team total under, which will be 107.5 minus 105. Yep, 107.5 minus 105. And that is at that's at Pinnacle. I'm just concerned that because it is the holiday season, that maybe the refs will have a gift or 2 or 3 or 20 for the Orlando Magic tonight at home. That does sometimes happen, It is the season for gift giving, right? What, are you going to give gifts to people when they're on the road? No, you give the gifts to people at home when they're feeling the home love. And I'm just a little bit concerned that the refs might have, a gift or 2 or 3 or 5 or 20 for the Orlando Magic tonight. But I'm going to take the Phoenix team total over 102 minus 116 and the Orlando team total under 107.5 minus 105. I'd also be leaning first half as well. Phoenix first half team total over and Orlando first half team total under. I have to think about what I want to do here. Let's look at some other comments and move on to another game. D. Bankroll says, me against the world. I like Orlando. Not Applicable says, I wouldn't take a team total under. King Rail says, how can y'all take a team total under when both teams don't play good fourth quarter defense? Yeah, you may think that's a mistake, King Rail. Actually, when I came in to do the show today, I was only going to give the Phoenix team total over. But you think that that might be a mistake here? Not Apple says Suns money line worth a bet. Denny's Selick says Suns a good second half team. Bleds W says ref gives all year, Pete, the gift that doesn't quit giving. Right. I'm talking about relative to the rest of the season. I know that. Tony Nardo likes Phoenix plus the points. All right. Let's move on. Next game on the docket. King Rail, great to have you in the comment section here. Please comment on all these NBA games because Lord knows, even though I'm off a 5-2 day, I need the help in NBA long term. Indiana against Atlanta. Both teams doing well ATS, and I was thinking that Atlanta getting this many points might be a little bit unjustified, right? I know that John Collins is out, right? Collins should still be out for Atlanta, but Dedmon and Len were fine, did well. Atlanta's have a couple of covers now. Miles Turner's playing great as well. I'm not sure what I was thinking about this one. I was thinking about Indiana team total under, maybe. I know Atlanta often doesn't D up. Let me just check this one. Indiana team total under and or Atlanta team total over, and I was thinking about Atlanta plus the points. Let me just check here. Yeah, is Atlanta going to D up here against Indiana? They might. Atlanta's coming back home. They've been playing pretty well recently. They can hold teams down. I was leaning Indiana team total under in this one. Indiana team total under, and I was leaning Atlanta plus the points. What do people think? What do people think here? King Rail says, I wouldn't bet team total under Magic. That's risky. Yeah, I hear you. I already did it, though, which might have been a mistake. Angel Romero hitting us up with some soccer plays. King Rail, what do you think about this Atlanta team? Very interesting with John Collins out, but Dedmon and Len playing okay in his stead, and Atlanta getting a lot of points here. Maybe Atlanta plus the points, and maybe the Indiana team total under. What do you think about that? I know Atlanta, often doesn't play defense. They're generally an overtrending team, but that's what I was thinking about. What do you think? Luke DM says, no play in the Pacers game. Ben Sportspick says, Pacers roll. Atlanta can't match up defensively. Alex Malbury says, Hawks playing good ball, especially at home now. There you go. Fred Gialli likes the Hawks plus 8. Yellow Jesus, Hawks first half. Yellow Jesus likes Pacers team total over. And Odar Lira likes Hawks plus the point. Yeah. I was thinking about the Hawks team total over and or the Pacers team total under, and maybe the Hawks plus the points as well. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, it's down. And 8 is not available. It opened at 8. Now it's down to a 7 or 6.5. Hawks are playing pretty well. I'm telling you, man. This is a team with some life to them right now. I know the Pacers had an easy assignment in their last game against Washington. Pacers are obviously a good team. They've been doing well recently, ATS, very well. They're giving a lot of points here. This is another game where I wish, I'd like to make my final decision a little bit later on. But I think I'm going to. I think I will take, this is tough. I want to take the Atlanta team total over. Are the Pacers going to D up? They do D up, don't they? I'm definitely leaning Hawks here. Definitely leaning Hawks plus the points. And you know what? I'll take him. I'll make it an official play. There is a 7.5 available at Bookmaker. I'll take the Hawks plus 7.5 minus 115. I know that might be a bad play. Hawks plus 7.5 minus 115. I know it's not a great idea to take bad teams after a string of wins, especially now that they're coming home. But it's just a lot of points. It's just a lot of points here. And I'll take the Hawks plus 7.5 minus 115. If it loses, it loses. All right. Comments, and then we'll go on to the next game. Mr. Gokster says, Atlanta pace of play is very high on the road. Atlanta's at home, though. King Rail says, I'm off this game. Pete, line seems funny. It does seem a little bit funny, Atlanta clearly the inferior team here, but they've been playing better recently, and it's a high line. Ben Sportspick says, Atlanta team total under. Pacers defense is too much, Pete. Giancarlo Barao says, Pacers been covering a lot of first quarters. Yeah, and I was thinking about the under in this game as well. Odar Lira says, Lamont Williams likes the Atlanta solo over. So there you go. Ben Sports picks 24/7, Atlanta team total under. Lamont Williams likes Atlanta team total over. Can't both be right unless you line shop and find, like a 107.5, 106.5. Then there's a teeny chance that they could both be right. But handicapping-wise, strong opinions on both sides here. But Blood Brother Fitness, is Jimmy going to be back for tomorrow? Yes, that is the report. that I have been handed, that I was handed before the show. Ron Lofton likes Pacers first half. All right, so what else do we have here? Bleds W says, last time I went against Indiana with a big spread, they burnt me. Atlanta doesn't play enough D to pick them up. Got to take Atlanta full game. Hawks first half. Oh, Alex Len is doubtful. Is that true? Yeah, that would explain the line then. Yeah, I thought Len was going to be was going to be in for this one, but that might have been a mistake. All right, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to hold off on this one. The line is very fishy, and I'm going to pass. Hawks team total. Hawks is not an official play for me here. I'm not going to take that one. All right, let's move on. Next game, Charlotte against Brooklyn. This one I was thinking Brooklyn is the obvious call here. Charlotte hasn't been doing well ATS. Brooklyn, of course, coming off of 2 losses, but before that they had been rolling. Let me just pull up the injury situation just so that I have it here. Make sure no one's out unexpectedly for these teams. See what we got here. If everyone's healthy for the Nets, I would definitely be leaning the Nets here. I've been leaning Nets all throughout their recent winning ways ATS wise. When I was doing a solo show, I was on the brink of taking them against Washington in that game. I just didn't have the balls, but I talked about it in depth in the show about how I liked them, and of course they did wind up covering that one. Sorry, let me just pull up the depth charts here. Depth charts, come on, here we go. Brooklyn Nets, yeah. Yeah, it looks like everything is standard here, and they're going up against Charlotte. I wouldn't take them first half, but I would take them full game. Kind of like in Brooklyn here. So Stane Mars likes Hornets money line. I kind of like Charlotte first half, but not necessarily full game. If the Nets are down at the half, I would be leaning Nets on the second half line for sure. Thinking about the shot with the under as well. Odar Lira says Nets are good at home. Let's see. What do we have here going on here? I'm looking around. Yeah, Gerald Martinez says Hornets not a great road team. Kemba cooling down. Nets are rolling. Donald Trump says Hornets money line looks like the logical play. If I was going to take the Hornets, I would definitely take them first half over full game. The Hornets have clearly been a first half team here, and I'm just not sure if I trust them the entire game. Let's see. Comments coming in. Mr. Gokster99 says, Pete, what's your favorite sport to gap? I guess right now it'd be MMA. MMA and NHL right now. Used to be college basketball. Of course, there was one year where I killed college basketball. Absolutely dominated college basketball. This year I have an okay read on it as well, but nothing like what I used to do. It's just I don't have the time like I used to have with my new schedule. All right, Reggie likes the under in the Hornets and Nets game. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. And I was thinking about the but King Rail likes the over in the Nets game. I'm an inch away from taking the Hornets team total under at 109. 109, that's way 109.5 minus 110. All right, I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take Charlotte team total under 109.5 minus 110. So maybe if Charlotte does cover this game, win this game, could easily still go under, and the Charlotte team total under cashes. I am also thinking about the full game under as well. 220.5 or so. Just thinking about it. Thinking about the under here and the first half under as well. Let me pull up a sheet with the first half under. All right. Try to keep a brisk pace here. Let's move on. Toronto against Miami. Miami's been killing it ATS. What do you think, King Rail? What's your take on Miami? They're really clamping down defensively. You don't want to buy high on a team, on a bad team that's making improvements, which is the situation that we might be seeing right now with Atlanta as well. But Miami looks like they're really locked in defensively. And I was thinking about another under. Thinking about the Miami plus the points play, and thinking about the Toronto team total under as well. Toronto is still banged up with all those guys out. They're going to be on the road here. It's a low total, though, 106 for Toronto on the team total. But just the way Miami's doing it right now, they've changed their approach, playing great defensively, and it's definitely been effective. I was thinking about Miami plus the points, the under, and the Toronto team total under. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm looking at it right now. Miami has been friggin' awesome. 5 straight games without letting a team in double digits. Really getting it done against some tough teams. Are they going to do it? Are we buying high, buying into a trend when we should be getting off the train? Or is that likely to continue? Because I'm thinking for one more game, it's likely to continue. Let's see. What else do we have here? Comments coming in. Ron Lofton says, I'll tell Pete's Hornets first half lean. Yeah, that might be a good play. I might change that from a lean to an official pick, actually. And maybe the Nets first half team total under. I'm definitely leaning Hornets first half. You know what? I will take that one. I'm going to take Brooklyn first half team total under 56.5 minus 104. I'm also leaning Charlotte first half just +1. But I'm going to take that one. Brooklyn first half team total under 56.5. 56.5 minus 104. Actually, I'm seeing at Heritage 57 minus 110, so I'll take that one. Brooklyn first half team total under 57 minus 110. Charlotte full game team total under 109.5, and I'd be leaning under on that game as well. All right, let's move on. Next, well, the Toronto. Let's talk about this. I'm leaning under on this one. Once again, I'm leaning another under. It was 210.5 when I initially looked at it. Now it's down to 208.5 or 209. Not a surprise there at all. Miami, of course, playing great defensively. Big under trender recently. Luke DM says another pass game for me. Peace Max 1 Skag says stay on the Miami train. Stay on the Miami train. Jay Chris says everyone but Valanciunas playing for the Raptors tonight. Yeah. Oh, and Young OG says Big V is in. Fred Gialli says Heat under 209.5. Oh, no, he's out. Right. Valanciunas is out. But yeah, we know that. Valanciunas is out for like 4 weeks or something. But everyone else is in. And Peace Max 1 Skag says stay on the Miami train. Odar Lira leaning under. Gonzalo Barao says Toronto night all the way. Ibaka will play tonight. Yeah. So Stene Mars likes Toronto -5, and Fred Gialli likes the under. Okay, let's yeah, and Ralph Portuando likes the under at 210. No 210s are available now, but there is a 209, and you know what? I will take that one. That's going to be at the Heritage. I'm just adding on plays here. Toronto, Miami, under 209 minus 110. I'm going to add that one on. It's an obvious play, but with what Miami is doing, I think it's still an okay thing to do. All right, let's move on. Minnesota against the Bulls. The Bulls are improving. Definitely liking the Bulls here, right? Definitely liking the Bulls first quarter as well, maybe first half. Not sure what I think about the total, which is relatively low. I know that Teague and Rose are day-to-day for Minnesota. Let me see what the depth charts are here for Minnesota say. Let me just quickly see what we have here. Information. Teague and Rose, day-to-day. Yeah, okay. So Teague is out at least another 7 to 10 days. Rose, more than likely, will return to the floor for Wednesday. So Rose probably in. Teague definitely out. And I was thinking about the Bulls here, and especially first quarter, first half. What do people think? Come on, comment section. Any comments on the Bulls game? I'm surprised. Comments coming in. I'm thinking the Bulls might be the play here. And once again, Bulls first quarter against Minnesota. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get some thoughts here. Chicago Bulls. Because if no one talks me off of it, I'm going to take the Bulls here. Plus the points. And I'm going to take them first quarter as well, I think. Bulls have been just a great first quarter team in general. Let me see what the first quarter line would be. I'm going to line shop here for first quarter line, and then please let me know what you think about, although I can see this one being like, finally, here I am taking a no-brainer play on the Bulls. I actually think I like them more full game here. They've just been such a no-brainer play on their first quarter spreads, but I'm not sure if this is, Miss J says, Lowry is doubtful for tonight. Okay. Yes, good to know. Good to know. Let me see. What else do we have here? I'm looking at comments coming in. Yeah, Ben Sportsbook says, like how marketing is stepping up. Bulls can keep it close. Take the points. King Rail says, don't take the Bulls. It's the ex-Bulls playing against the new Bulls, and Coach Tibbs wants this game. Okay. D Bankroll, I like Minnesota outright. Kamari K-Rock likes T-Wolves in the under. Not Apple. Pete's on a ledge. Talk him off of it. Yeah, Young OG23 says Tom's going to want to win it in Chicago. Yeah. It's just that I like how Markkanen is coming back and improving. He's playing well with Dunn. Young OG says don't take the Bulls. Ralph Portuano off that Bulls game. Played better on the road. Luke DM, I'm leaning Bulls full game as well. Okay. All right. There's another game where I would definitely, if we had an afternoon show, I would definitely be waiting for the afternoon show to make my official decision there, waiting to get some other opinions from people that I respect. And Fred Gialli says he's leaning over in the Bulls game. I guess I was thinking that way as well. The over in the Bulls game. What's the line on that one? Yeah, 211. Not a huge line there. I like that one. And I think I will take that one. I'll take the, God, I'd want to wait, but let's see. Comments coming in. Fred Gialli leaning over in the Bulls game. Scanning for comments. Not Apple doesn't trust Bull on anything. Gonzalo Barao says, I like this Bulls money line, to be honest. Marking under balling. Yes. Little win streak coming back home after a good rest. I just see value. Yeah. So Stene Mars likes Minnesota. I think this might be a spot to take the over. Maybe stay off Bulls. Maybe throw on some team total overs. I could see both of these team total overs cashing. 211. The Bulls have been a strong under-trending team at home and a strong under-trending team in general. But we have a total that's getting bet up. The initial line movement is getting bet up. Minnesota's all right. I'm gonna hold off on this one for now. But it's definitely an interesting game. I'd be leaning Bulls and leaning the over on this one. Cleveland against Memphis. This is a tough one. Memphis got a win and cover in their last game, but of course they haven't been doing well ATS before that at all. Cleveland, though, slumping. Very, very low total for 2018 NBA games, 196 or so. I'd be leaning under anyway. In the Cleveland and Memphis game. Other than that, I have no real opinion here. Maybe thinking about a Memphis team total under, which would be, 103.5, but that's too low as well. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Any opinions on Memphis and Cleveland? Leaning under, but that's it. Robert Martin says, good morning, Pete from Canada. Shout out to you, Robert Martin. That's a great friggin' country you got there. That's a great friggin' country, Robert Martin. Don't take it for granted. Don't take anything for granted in life, but especially not if you come from a country where they have just the teeniest bit of concern for its citizens. Shout out to you. Robert Martin. Ralph Portuano says, Cleveland plus the points. No play for me. Donald Trump says Memphis is not going to go all out after a long road stretch and everyone banged up. Cleveland plus 10, most certainly. King Rail says stay off game. I was leaning Cavs here as well. I mean, the Cavs are just a shit team, an S team. Memphis was clearly overvalued though before. I was thinking that that Cleveland might be the best way to go. Will Livengood says, what's up, Pete? Thank you for being here for us. Love the show. Love you and Jimmy. Thank you very much. Will Livengood. There's a comment. Guy says he loves me. Can't take that away from me. You can do whatever you want to me in life. Guy comes on and says he loves me in the comments section. Nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do. It's on there. The internet forever. Even if you delete the video, Google saves it. There forever. All right, I'm procrastinating now because I'm not sure what to do. I might throw on all my leans at the end of this show. Cavs definitely a lean, though. Yellow Jesus says Cavs been scoring lately. Kev John, Ken Jovan likes Memphis. Luis Fernando Esquinza says, Pete, Pete saying friggin' sounds like a Trailer Park Boys cast. Yeah, Luis Fernando Esquinza, a hell of an actor. Trust me. I'd make any movie or TV show way better. Just me being in it. All right, let's see. All right, Fred Gialli says, don't waste your time on this game. All right, let's move on, but I'm definitely leaning Cleveland. Now we have New Orleans, Dallas. Dallas are definitely slumping, and I think this might be a spot where they might have some value. Open at 1.5, now up to 2.5. Dallas been losing straight up. Their last two games were covers. It's so tough to bet against a team with Anthony Davis, and I am starting to have a bias against betting, against a team with Anthony Davis, which of course is an irrational bias. As awesome as he is, they're gonna lose some games ATS despite him being on the court. He's just so friggin' awesome, though. I'd be leaning Dallas here. Dallas minus the points. The total, I'm not sure what to make of. Obviously, New Orleans can be, even though they've stopped being the dead over team they were in the beginning of the year, they obviously can be a super high scoring team. And Dallas has been exploding with their totals recently. They've been losing, though. So are they going to come in here and clamp down and have a different style of play here? One would think. Presumably, one would think. Or maybe New Orleans will force them to play up-tempo, and they'll try to get a win finally with an up-tempo game. One would think. that Dallas is going to try to clamp down on D. They might not be able to here, but I'm leaning Dallas. I'm leaning Dallas minus the points. Let's see what anyone has to say. Robert Martin likes Cleveland plus 10.5. Luis Fernando Esquinza says take the Mavs first quarter, first half and full game. Fred Gialli, Mavs all day, big time. I'm definitely leaning Dallas here. I'm definitely leaning Cleveland here. I'm definitely thinking about it. Young OG likes the over in the Mavs game. Fred Gialli says Mavs all the day, big time. Ray Williams says fade road teams day after Christmas. Yes, that's something I think about. All right, I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks here. I'm going to take them. It opened at 2. Now it's up to 2.5. I'm wondering if there are any. Maybe I'll just take them on the money line. I don't want to buy down to 2. Let me see what the money lines are here. Minus 2.5 is the best line right now for Dallas. I definitely want to take them here, and maybe first half as well. Minus 135. All right, I'll take Dallas money line, minus 135. And you know what? I don't know how much I like this Cleveland spot at all. I mean the Memphis spot, the spot from Memphis. I think I'm going to take Cleveland first half and full game. Hope that I cash at least one of them. Might cash both of them. I'm going to take Cleveland here. Plus 10.5, minus 110. I'm going to take Cleveland. Plus 10.5, minus 110, and I'm also going to take Cleveland on the first half. I don't mind doubling up here. I just don't trust Memphis as a big favorite like this. I don't care how bad Cleveland is. I just don't trust Memphis as a big favorite here. So I'm going to take Cleveland first half, plus 5.5, minus 105. Not going to be able to get 6, but I'll take them. Cleveland first half, plus 5.5, minus 105. I'll take that one. So I'm on Cleveland first half, plus 5.5, minus 105, and full game, plus 10.5, minus 110. I'm throwing on most of my leans here. All right. Any other comments coming in? Shout out to Nate Pereira. What's up, Pete? Checking in from the Mirage. Shout out to you, Nate Pereira. Shout out to everyone in Vegas. Shout out to all the guys at the Mirage who may be watching right now live or on replay. My name is Peter Loshak. You're watching the Loshak in the Bag show here at SBR Videos. All right, let's see. Robert Martin says Cleveland playing okay as of late, but not great. Yeah, but they're catching big points. Ray Williams, Pelicans' hectic travel schedule. Came back from a road trip, holiday, then a flight back out. All right, so I've taken Dallas on the money line. Kev Jovan says, lose your money with Cleveland. Why do you think they're getting 10.5? Yeah, because they're a terrible team. Anytime you're getting 10.5 points in a situation in the NBA, you're either going up against an awesome team or you're betting on a terrible team. That's just the way it goes. But those spreads do sometimes cover, of course. D Profit took the Mavs. Red Girl likes Dallas. D Bankroll says Mavs. All right. Luis Fernando Esquinza says Mavs are pissed after this Blazers win. Yes, Ralph Portuano likes Dallas, buying down to 2. Luke M says Dallas will win this. Yeah. All right, yep. Let's see. Other comments coming in. All right, so let me see. Yeah, Dallas against New Orleans. I'll take Dallas. Maybe Dallas first quarter or first half. I'm just trying to think if I want to double or triple up here. All right, let's move on. Denver and the Spurs. This is another one. Denver should bounce back. I think I'm liking Denver here. I also would be leaning over and the Denver team total over, right? Denver's coming off a terrible loss. Embarrassing loss. Now they're going up against a Spurs team that, as we've seen, can be vulnerable this year, right? They've gotten some very, very nice wins at home recently. I'm not sure that they've turned a corner, though, as a team, as a program, right? With Popovich right now. And I'm thinking that Denver is a good play here. Team total over, maybe plus the points. I mean, the Spurs are also coming off a loss, of course. I'm thinking we might see an over here. The Spurs had some awesome games recently, and then the loss to Houston. Have the Spurs turned a corner? That's the big question. I mean, the Spurs are getting, look at this. Look at the Spurs. Look at what they've done recently. 4 straight wins. Their last 4, they've had 2 losses. One of them was to Chicago. But of their last 4 wins, each game they scored more than 120, and each game their opponent scored less than 100. Every single game. So maybe they did turn a corner here. And again, I wasn't necessarily thinking that that I want to take Denver plus the points here. I was leaning over. I was thinking about an over and then a Denver team total over. That's what I was thinking about. And the total has gotten bet up. It opened at 213.5. Now it's up to 216. You know, thinking about the over, thinking about the first half over, and thinking about Denver team total over. What do you guys think? Let's see. Luis Fernando Esquinza says Nuggets too volatile. Will Livengood says, hey, Pete, we got 10 minutes to First Responders Bowl. You might want to throw Boston College on before it's too late. Will Livengood, we already discussed this one. We already discussed this game ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. I am definitely leaning, but it starts at 1:30 though. Yeah, we got 40 minutes. Will Livengood. Definitely. Oh, and look at that. As this show has gone on, in the beginning of the show, there were 1.5s available. Now it's only 1s. So money coming in on BC. I can't tell you exactly why that would be, but you know, it's a good sign for anyone who took them at 2.5 or 3. Definitely thinking about a teaser here, though. Some kind of 6.5-point teaser, teasing BC and TCU. Although, as Matt Randall said, kids play hard for Justin Wilcox of Cal. Fade this game or take Cal. Yeah, I hear you on that one. I definitely hear you on that one. I feel like it might be a good spot for TCU, though. All right, so let's talk about it, at least to keep it close. Not necessarily to win, but to keep it close. All right, so Denver and the Spurs. I was thinking about over, first half over, and Denver team total over. What do you guys think? The Denver team total over right now, 106. You know, I mean, the Spurs, when they're winning, it seems like they just hold everyone to under 100. Just a very impressive team. Very impressive what they've been doing. I'm thinking about the over. What do you guys think? Yeah, Gonzalo Barral says Spurs played some good games at home. It's facts, but don't forget the game against the Bulls without Levine. They're not even a top 3 team at home this season. Yeah, I'm thinking that their recent success at home is a little bit illusory. Just a little bit. Just a teeny bit illusory. Ralph Portuando likes the Spurs. Red Girl says TCU on third quarterback. I'm leaning Cal. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Matt Randall is on the Spurs. Bleds W, Spurs at home, Pete. I know. Robert Martin says Denver sluggish, Pete. I know. Luis Fernando Esquinza liking Nuggets first half. I was thinking that as well. Gonzalo Barral likes the Nuggets money line. Thinks it's a bounce back spot. Okay. Let me think about what I want to do here. I might take the Denver first half team total under. Over. Something like that. Let me see. Denver first half team total. Yeah, 53.5. A little bit up there. I'm leaning over. Leaning Denver first half. People saying Denver's sluggish. All right. And now let's move on to a Sacramento and the Clippers. Obviously a high total here. Sacramento continues to do great ATS. Just been a great ATS bet all season long. That was the one good call I made at the beginning of the year. Sacramento as an ATS play, a good play. But the Clippers have also picked it up recently. I don't know if I want to take an over in this one, and it's going to be a pass for me. Maybe a slight lean to the Sacramento team total over, but this game's going to be a pass. If anyone has anything to say about Sacramento and the Clippers, let me know. It's just a classic situation where you have two teams matched up against each other where I really don't want to go against either one of them. The total is very high, as it should be. Don't want to take an over in this spot on a Wednesday, in the middle of Christmas and New Year's week. Definitely don't want to take an under, though, so it's going to be a pass. Let me know if any of you like anything from the Spurs, from the Kings Clippers game. It's going to be a pass for me, though. So tell me what your thoughts are on any of these games before we wrap up NBA here. To review my picks, once again, Phoenix team total over 102 minus 116. Orlando team total under 107.5 minus 105. King Rail doesn't like that play. Doesn't like that call on Orlando team total under 107.5 minus 105, but didn't have much to say about the Phoenix team total over. I'm on the Charlotte team total under 109.5 minus 110. Brooklyn first half team total under 57 minus 110. Toronto Miami under 209 minus 110. Dallas Mavericks money line minus 135. Cleveland first half plus 5.5 minus 105 and plus 10.5 minus 110. Again, plays that I was thinking about were the under in plays I was thinking about. Phoenix, Orlando. Made my plays on that one. Thinking about the under and first half under in Washington, Detroit. Indiana, Atlanta, an interesting game. Thinking about the Atlanta plus the points, but the line definitely feels fishy, and I think I am going to hold off on that one. Toronto, Miami. Everyone's in for Toronto. I did take the under, and I'm okay with that one. Charlotte, Brooklyn. Also leaning under on that one, and also leaning Brooklyn full game, and leaning Charlotte first half. And I might throw on all of these. Cleveland, Memphis. Already gave Cleveland. Minnesota, Chicago. Leaning over. Leaning Chicago plus the points. Maybe the first half over as well. New Orleans, Dallas. I took Dallas. Denver, Spurs. Tough game. Leaning over. I'm thinking about the Denver team total over as well. Sacramento and the Clippers is a pass. Let's see what we got here. Fred Gialli leaning Clippers and over. Bleds W likes the Clippers at home. I hear you, but I just can't bet against I can't bet against Sacramento catching big points like this. 5.5. No way. No way. Ray Williams says the only team I wouldn't fade on the road is Minnesota today. Sacktown King. Kings all day. Kings all day. Luis Fernando Esquinza. I really see the Clippers not getting up for this one. They're thinking about the Lakers. Maybe. Gerald Martinez says Sack has been starting games slow lately. If they get down like that again, they're not coming back against the Clips. Maybe. I don't know. I think if the Clippers are up by 6 or 8 at the half, and Sacramento's, catching a point or two, something like that, I might be thinking about taking Sacramento. I actually think that they might start off the game sluggish. I would be leaning Clippers first half and then maybe Sacramento second half. That's what I would be thinking about. That's what I would be thinking about. All right, let me make some final decisions here. I'm actually starting to lean Clippers first half minus the points. Starting to think about that. Hold on. All right, we got. Sorry, we're going to wrap this up. I'm just making some final. I don't have Jimmy the Bag here to bounce ideas off of and bounce thoughts off of. I don't have my late information, so I'm straining a little bit, stressing a little bit. I would definitely be leaning Clippers first half, though. I just don't want to bet against Sacramento in any capacity right now. Sacramento is down at the half. I'll likely be on them on the second half. Interesting stuff here. Charlotte looking like a great first half team, great first quarter team. Charlotte +1, definitely enticing. Charlotte first quarter, definitely enticing. I will take Charlotte first half. +1 minus 110. I'm going to take Charlotte first half +1 minus 110. And I think I might add on the Nets full game, maybe take the money line, although they're just, oh, wow, look at that. Whoa, line is coming back in Charlotte's favor. Interesting. Opened at 2, now down to 1. All right, I've added on Charlotte first half +1, leaning Charlotte first quarter as well. Maybe I'll hold off on this one. Maybe I'll hold off very quickly. Let me just think. What would Jimmy the Bag do right now? What would Whale Capper do right now? What would King Rail do right now? Clippers, Sacramento, Denver, San Antonio over. Thinking about that. Minnesota, Chicago. Thinking about over. Let me add on some home teams here. I agree. I think home teams are probably the way to go here. Phoenix, Orlando. Yeah, I might have made a mistake taking the Orlando team total under. And you know what? I think I might add on the Phoenix first half team total over as well. Just in case they get, I am going to. I'm adding on Phoenix. All right, I'm adding on a lot of plays here. Phoenix, first half, team total over, 51 minus 120. Phoenix, first half, team total over, 51 minus 120. I'll add that one on there as well. Let me see. Want to add some more home teams here. Thinking about home teams that might have a nice shot. Make official plays. Washington, Detroit. You know what? The Washington team total under might be worth a play as well. I think that's a good play. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take the Washington team total under. Hold on one second. I'm just adding on plays here, guys. Bear with me. Washington team total under 108 minus 110. That's going to be an official play. Washington team total under 108 minus 110. 108 minus 110. I'm taking that one. And I might add on the Washington first half team total under as well. 55 minus 117. Interesting right there. 55 minus 117. Hold on one second. Washington, 55 minus 110. Yeah, I'm going to add that one on. Washington, first half, team total under 55 minus 110. All right, I'm adding on a lot of NBA plays here. We'll see how it all shakes out. Indiana, Atlanta, pass. Toronto, Miami, I already gave the under. Charlotte, Brooklyn, already added on a whole bunch of stuff here. Not going to take Brooklyn full game. All right, I'm adding on a bunch of my leans here. I'm doing it. Minnesota, Chicago, I'll give that one. Over, well, Chicago's been just a very low-scoring team. All right, I'm gonna hold off on that one, though. I'm going to hold off on that one. Definitely leaning over in Minnesota, Chicago. All right, that's it for NBA. So once again, Phoenix team total over 102, and first half team total over 51. Orlando team total under 107.5. Charlotte team total under 109.5. Brooklyn first half team total under 57. Toronto, Miami under 209. Dallas money line minus 135. Cleveland first half plus 5.5, full game plus 10.5. Charlotte first half plus 1. Washington Wizards team total under first half 55 and full game 108. And that's it for NBA. All right, now let's move on to college football here. Shadow says, please remember my birthday pick. Is it your birthday pick today, Shadow? Yaya says, Mr. Peters, I want to give you a Christmas present. Okay. Loshak1@yahoo.com. That's my PayPal, Yayas. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Well, Lamont Williams, what's the number for Washington solo under? 108. You know, if they just don't show up on the road here, and if they don't show up on the road here, and Detroit clamps down on defense, which is usually what they do when Dwayne Casey motivates them, it should be a lower scoring game. Hopefully. Should be a lower scoring game, I think. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Coming in. Yeah, I'm liking Chicago here. I don't know. Dallas, Spurs, Clippers. Okay. Let's talk about college football right now. Again, the Boise State BC game. This line is just crashing. Let's see where it is right now. Boise and BC. Pick them at BetOnline. Heritage, BC's a favorite. Money is coming in on BC. Big money. I don't know if you want to tail that now. It's interesting. You know, it's down to pick them at BetOnline and Heritage. It's down to +1 everywhere else. When the show stopped, Bookmaker just moved to -1 right here at SBR Odds, color-coded. Bookmaker -1. If at the beginning of the show, it was 1.5. Now there are -1s. Money coming in on BC and money did come in on the under, but that under had already moved by the afternoon, and that has not moved yet. So, you know, it's an interesting game there. The Minnesota-Georgia Tech game is very interesting. Obviously, it's the last game for Paul Johnson for Georgia Tech. You know, Minnesota got a big win over Wisconsin, and that might have been the exclamation point on their season. I'm not sure this is a good spot for Minnesota here. Minnesota definitely outperformed my expectations this season, though. I was expecting them to be an under-trending team with an offense that couldn't do anything and the defense that could keep them in games against, you know, uninspiring offenses. But that did not turn out to be the case. Minnesota played a lot better than I expected. I'm just thinking that last game against Wisconsin was their exclamation point. You know, double-digit dog. They go in there, get an outright win. What a result. What a huge result for this program this season. After having some big question marks coming into the season. Now they're going into the bowl game, going up against, Paul Johnson and his last game at the helm, of Georgia Tech. Some guys are sitting for Minnesota as well. Leading tackler is sitting, right, for Minnesota, I believe. That guy's name. Leading tackler for Minnesota. Yeah, Blake Cashman. That's right. Preparing for the NFL draft, right? You know, Minnesota, I'm just not sure this is a good spot for them, and I would be leaning Georgia Tech minus the point. Leaning Georgia Tech minus the points, although there's been a big move here from 3.5 to 6, 6.5 or 6. It's all over the place. Obviously, Minnesota is, going to have a long time to prepare for this Georgia Tech, for the option offense. But Georgia Tech was good this year, at the end of it, at the beginning. And this actually, I don't know if you guys remember this, but at the beginning of the year in the IFBC, Georgia Tech's program went exactly as I thought. I don't know if you guys remember this, but at the IFBC I said this, and in Loshak in the Bag videos I said this. I said that Georgia Tech, their results, both straight up and ATS, is highly predicated on their recruiting class, right? When they have a good, more than other programs. Because there's a lot of variability with Georgia Tech's recruiting class, and having the athletes to execute the schemes is very important. There, they had an unusually good recruiting class this year after 4 or 5 years of having bad recruiting classes. This was a much better season for them, but it was a new bunch of guys. So I predicted that they would start off the season maybe a little bit sluggish or shaky ATS-wise, and then in the middle of the season that they would start to do better ATS-wise. And that is exactly how their season went, right? Opened the season with 4 straight ATS losses, then covered 5 out of their last 6. And then their last 2 games, of course, were losers ATS-wise, a tough game against a good Virginia team, and then they got blown out by Georgia. I'm thinking this might be a really good spot for Georgia Tech here. I had a good read on them this year. I swear I'm not making this up. I'm swear I'm not making this shit up. You can go back and find the archival footage if you're so inclined of me talking about Georgia Tech this year. Again, the recruiting class matters a lot for Georgia Tech. And this year, they had an unusually highly ranked recruiting class, and the season went exactly as I thought it would, not necessarily predicted. Let me see. Lamont Williams says yeah, likes Georgia Tech today. Angel Mowbray says Georgia Tech wins, Minnesota covers. Yeah, I mean, it did open at 3.5, so you could have bought down to 3 at a reasonable price. And now, of course, you'd have to take 6. Let me see. I'm just looking here. Mr. Peters says Christmas present is Georgia Tech by 30 plus. Thank me now or later. Okay. I was only talking about maybe an 8-point win or a 12-point win. Leds W says, Pete, good trend to take unders after Christmas. Yes, I am aware of that. Red Girl likes Georgia Tech at the half. Matt Randall, 7 starters on defense are seniors. Look for angles against the books, and this is a huge angle for a Georgia Tech cover. Matt Randall says Georgia Tech wins today. Yeah, I think so. Yese Rosa says, Pete, are you going to analyze NHL? No, not at all, because there's no NHL today, right? Am I wrong? The 26th NHL starts tomorrow, when we will have NHL back and Jimmy the Bag as well. All right, I'll make some picks. I'm going to take Georgia Tech here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Georgia Tech first half and Georgia Tech full game. I think it's a good spot for them. Obviously, I'm getting the super crappy line here. You don't want to be taking these kinds of lines. You're on the ass end of the line move, as they say. Open at 3.5, but I'm going to take -6, -110. The Greek still has that ass end of the line move, but it might not matter if Yayas is anywhere close to being correct, because he's predicting a 30-point win by Georgia Tech. So even if he's off by 3 touchdowns and they only win by 9, you're still covering. All right, and I'm going to take the first half as well. I'm going to take Georgia Tech first half. Let me see if I can get a 3. Let's see what the first half line would be here. Georgia Tech, no, 3.5. Yeah. All right, so no 3s. All right, I'll take Georgia first half, -3.5, -103. I'll make that one an official pick as well. Georgia Tech, first half, -3.5, -103. So maybe just a 6-point teaser with BC and with BC and Georgia Tech might be worth a play here. Because I agree. I think that Georgia Tech takes this one. I don't see them losing. And maybe I'll add that one on as well. Let me see who's still got hanging a 1 here. Pinnacle's hanging 1. Won't do teasers there. Up Heritage. Heritage now back. Money coming back on Boise State. Some buyback. Intertops at 1.5. All right, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to, you're not supposed to tease college football games, but I'm going to do it right now. 7-point teaser. I'll check what Intertop 7-point teaser lines are. I'm going to tease Boston College up to 7.5, and I'm going to tease Georgia Tech down to Pick'em. Actually, -0.5, but down to Pick'em. Georgia Tech right now is -6.5 at Intertops. I'll tease them down to 6. Down to a half, 6-point teaser. And at Intertops, Boston College is +1.5. I'll tease them up to 7.5. You can do the same thing at Bet365, and I will take that one. A teaser. I'm going to throw on a teaser here. College football teasers. Anyone who's intimating that I have no clue what I'm talking about doing college teasers, yes. I know you're not supposed to take college football teasers. This is an entertainment-based show, and I'm doing it. I think BC keeps it close. I think Georgia Tech wins, and I am willing to do that. The TC California game is very interesting. Obviously, we're talking about that. TCU had a very, very down season. California has obviously a great defense. This is expected to be a very, very low-scoring game, a defense-oriented game, but you're getting a very low total here, down to 38, down from 41. I could see, a 3-team 6-point teaser here. Let's see what TCU is here at Intertops. Yeah, 1.5. That is very tempting. The question is, will TCU show up or not? TCU did end their disappointing season with a couple of wins. They got a nice win over Oklahoma State, in their last game at home as an underdog. So maybe that was the exclamation point on their season. And California, of course, is very good this year. ATS-wise, I'm saying. They closed the season with a long run of ATS winning. Their defense was great. They'll probably come in here motivated. Think it's going to be a close, low-scoring game. Be leaning Cal here, but leaning maybe TCU on a teaser. That's what I'm thinking about. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what everyone's talking about here on college football. A lot of college football comments. All right, so let's see. College football comments. Tony Nardo got BC at plus 2.5 like Dylan in the run game today. Yeah, I took him at 2.5 myself. Fred Gialli, 85% chance of rain for the Dallas game. E. Lowe says the defensive line of BCU can't stop that offensive line. Yes, absolutely. Boise State looks like a graveyard. Dominique Williams says, I'm in Dallas. Weather isn't too bad. Not raining yet. There's supposed to be wind, supposed to be rain. Even if there's not, though, I think it might still be an okay play to take BC, even if the weather is fine. Obviously, inclement weather benefits BC without question. Without question, takes away the big disadvantage that they're at with their vulnerable pass defense and Rippey and the quarterback for Boise State being so great. Let's see. What else do we have here coming in? Just comments coming in. Sean Thompson says, Georgia Tech, TCU, and BC, you're welcome. That might not be a bad 3-team teaser right there. Joe Licari took Georgia Tech -3. Yep, Sean Thompson says Georgia Tech sends their coach. They won the Axe. They've already peaked. That's what I'm thinking. Joe Licari says they'll win but not cover the 5.5, 6.5. Okay. And Geghard A says Boise and Georgia Tech are blowout winners. So Geghard liking Boise minus the point. Other comments here. Sean Thompson predicts Dylan's going to run for 200-plus yards. He might. Angel Romero again hitting us up with soccer plays. Chelsea moneyline -145 and also liking Genk -185. Both games start at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is in about an hour and 15 minutes. Flipper 13 says Pete the Greek has Georgia Tech first half -3 as I type. Is that true? Let me see. Georgia Tech first half -3 as he types. The Greek. Oh, okay. The Greek feed is off here. I will trust that. All right, I'm going to take Georgia Tech first half -3, -110. The feed was down for the Greek at SBR odds. Thank you. Good looking out. Flipper 13. I didn't see that one because sometimes the feeds are down for SBR odds, and apparently the Greeks' feed for SBR odds is down right now. Didn't see it. -3, -110 will be my official play on the first half on that one. Thank you very much, Flipper 13. Matt Randall says to tease Cal. Yeah, that might be a decent play, except that Cal is the favorite. You really, you really don't want to tease over the zero, over the over Pick'em. They're -1 or 1.5. Could see maybe a case for making a 3-team 10-point teaser. BC +10. He's Georgia Tech +3.5. And then Cal, he's to like +8.5. Really hard to see. If TCU does get a win, really hard to see them winning by double digits here. You know what I mean? That is really hard to see. That might be a bad play. Might not be another bad play there. A 3-team 10-point teaser. Intertop. Tease BC +11. Georgia Tech +3.5, and Cal +8.5. Not bad. You're not supposed to tease college football, but we are just chatting here. Geghard A says Cal wins and the game goes under. Red Girl likes Cal. Let's see. I'm just looking. I'm thinking Cal might be a good play here. Definitely. Oh, BidXN likes Minnesota. Look at that. BidXN predicting a win by Minnesota and saying take a -4.5 +305. As a play. Okay. BidXN, first person not expecting a big blowout win by Georgia Tech. Fred Gialli leaning under on the Cal game, even though the total is super low. And I guess that's it. I guess that is it. Looking for comments coming in. All right. So I did take Georgia Tech. First half -3, full game -6. BitXN, I talked about it at the beginning of the show. One guy I really don't like to see on the opposite side of me is BitXN. And here we go. BitXN not only saying that he likes Minnesota plus the 6, not saying that he thinks Minnesota loses but covers, saying Minnesota wins by a margin, saying Minnesota minus 4.5 at plus 305 is worth a play. And that makes me very, very nervous. It makes me very nervous. I guess that's it, though. Any other people who want to talk about these games? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Tony Nardo likes the Minnesota team total under. Crypto Capper likes Minnesota team total under. Yes, I'd be leaning unders here as well. Leaning Boise State team total under. Leaning Minnesota team total under. Both of those look kind of tempting. We're going to wrap this up in a second. I'm just thinking about adding on some other plays here last minute, last second. Let me just check. Yeah, Boise State 26.5 under minus 116. And Minnesota team total under 116, 25.5. You know what? I will take that. I'm going to take both of them. I'm leaning under. I'm leaning Boston College. I'm going to add both of those on here. I'm going to add Boise team total under 26.5 minus 118. Boise team total under 26.5 minus 118. And Minnesota team total under 25.5. These are both pinnacle lines. Team total under 25.5 minus 116. I like both of those. They're also very much in line with my handicapping of the sides and totals as well. So if I'm off on one of the sides and totals, but more right on the other one, then I still might have a positive EV play there. Boise State team total under 26.5 minus 118, and Minnesota under 25.5 minus 110. I'll take that one. That's actually at Heritage. Heritage has minus 110 right now. Okay. Thanks for your insights, guys. Thanks for all your input. Geghard A says Minnesota isn't winning this game. Laughing my ass off. That's a bad bet. Noli Knows said good luck, everyone. And I guess that's it. Yeah, Steve says Minnesota sitting a few players suspended. Gened 52160 says Minnesota has 10 players up for suspension. Now that, that can be a double-edged sword because then a lot of times, the replacements come in, they're on a stage, in a big stage, on a bowl game, and all of a sudden, a bowl game that might not have meant anything to the suspended players all of a sudden takes on new meaning for a team. So, yeah, I didn't look into that. I mean, I knew about the leading tackler being out for the game, but I didn't know about which players would get suspended. But it's also, I think, a positive spot for Georgia Tech, and we'll see. Sean Thompson says that ain't happening. Minnesota gets rolled. And that is it. We'll wrap it up right now. We managed to cover an hour and 20 minutes with just NBA and 3 college football games. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your thoughts, for participating, for commenting. Have a wonderful holidays the rest of your time, and we'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time, presumably, I think, with Jimmy the Bag sitting right next to me. See you then.